Hi, I'm Mike Lemieux,
And I'm Jen MacDonald.
and we have a renovation project that we hope to share with you. It's kind of spooky and dark in here, so don't get afraid. So this is our kitchen.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
We thought you would think so. Would you like to give the folks a small tour?
Sure. And here we have the beautiful Formica.
Look, it's just like marble.
And I don't think we should really open this, but
You definitely
oh god.
take a look in there.
Yeah. So that definitely needs to be replaced.
If I end up leaving that dishwasher, I think Jen will disown me. So what we're planning on doing, I think, is you can see how much sun that comes in. We're going to move this island over a bit so we have more of a breakfast nook. Redo the lighting, and as Jen said, try to remove the paint that we have in the original beehive oven. Look, it says bread and butter.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
But it is actually a nice pantry and it's solid wood, so we're gonna try to save these.
You know, it's I think going to be a very interesting project.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's something that people would love to see, and we really hope we get to share it with you. We are sitting here in our Black Walnut House. This house is probably one of the more special houses that we've ever renovated. It was one of the first homes that we tried to buy when we arrived in Plympton, Massachusetts.
It was the house that I think got us more notice for our work than
Sure.
any other house.
Yeah.
It ended up in a few magazines and that just spiraled from one thing to another. We've done a lot of events here and now we've had an HGTV show and other things.
Yeah. But if we go back way before all of that, I think this house is even more special to us than just about any other one because it's the first house that we tried to find a way to keep. Hey everybody, we are here today at our historic Black Walnut House in Plympton, Massachusetts.
Yes.
The Black Walnut House was originally a carriage house and barn for the Captain Hayward estate.
Hannah Hayward is I'm a direct descendant of hers. Her brother actually built this house. It was a barn to the house next door. So Captain Hayward's estate, it was over 200 acres, I think.
275 acres.
Yeah, and this whole area was so industrial. There was a tack mill across the way here. You know, the Bradfords lived in this area over here, if you can imagine. Lots of history in this area.
Yeah.
There are amazing beehive fireplaces inside. When we go inside, you'll see this. So we think that it could have been maybe housing for the farm staff as well as for equipment. Maybe animals lived in here, but it wasn't actually converted to a residential house until 1958.
And we have one of the oldest black walnut trees in North America right in the front yard here,
Yeah.
right Jenny?
That is said to be over 550 years old. So if you can imagine, the Native Americans were probably using the black walnuts off this tree before any pilgrim was here, which is just mind-blowing to me. We get black walnuts off of it every once in a while, hence the name, the Black Walnut House.
That's right, and you'll see some of the accents that we used in the house to try to highlight the fact that we've got probably one of the oldest black walnut trees in North America right here in the front yard.
Yeah.
Now, we do make this house available to rent, so you're welcome to come stay here. But this was one of the first properties that Jen and I restored that really started the evolution of full circle homes.
That's right.
So we're going to take you through a tour today. Let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out.
So I've always loved this space.
Yeah, I love the beehive oven. This did not look like this before.
Yeah, I know.
It was
Not at
all shag carpet, if you recall.
Yep, it was. It had this thick pink shag carpet here. It just really didn't work with the space. This structure is what is known as a banked barn. So this is the front the room that we're in right now, of the first floor of the barn.
Right.
And then as you go to the backyard, the first floor is actually level with the ground outside. So the foundation starts right behind us, and it kind of keeps this barn into the bank of the hill, and it keeps it cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter.
And it really does work.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a natural air conditioning.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, it's cool down here, but it's definitely warmer in the next 2 floors.
Yeah. But you can see this is a post and beam barn, so all of the original framing is still intact.
Yeah.
And what we were told historically was that there were entries on the side with the front door where they would bring equipment and such in.
Yeah.
Now later on, as Jen was talking about, we probably get these beehive ovens that were put in.
Right.
And this may have been for making meals, meal preparation. This could have been staff quarters to help run the farm, anything like that. But now it's a nice, homey living room.
Yeah, no, it's a great spot to entertain. And there is another room just off of this room and a mud room as well.
Why don't we go take a look?
Look at those as well. But this whole area was much darker. We really didn't change much, though, with the paneling. We just brightened it up and painted it.
Yep, that's right.
Because it was just so dark down here.
And we got rid of the pink pile carpeting, and we did a wood look tile for the whole distance of the first floor.
Right. We had decided, since there's concrete under here, that would keep the space still cool and be really good for a basement level. This tile is really done well. I think we've had this for 8 years now since we renovated this house.
Exactly. It's hard to imagine it's been 8 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's, it's just a cozy little space, and then you've got the mud room and the side entry off of here, right off the driveway.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty much unchanged, except for tile in the mud room.
Yeah, and we just used a nice, simple slate in the mud room here.
Yeah, and we kept the Pickwick pine. They would call that. I think that's 1970s, but I like it, so it stayed, and it's the V-groove.
You can see one of the old newspaper articles on the home here back in the 80s.
We kept all of the windows, so they're all 12/12 weighted windows throughout the entire house, except for where we had to put in new windows, and then we just did the Anderson True Divides. We painstakingly restored every window. Every once in a while, a pane breaks. You just replace it. As you get to it, you pop it out, put a new piece of glass in there or a restoration glass and reglaze it and paint it, and they're great. These windows are amazing. I love them.
Yeah, it's one of the most common fallacies I think that people fall into is that when you have old historic windows, you need to take them out. And we highly recommend rebuilding them. You can do it a countless amount of times. Yeah,
and remember, this house was a barn, but I do think that these windows are very close to 1800 when this was built.
I think so as well. I mean, they have all the hallmarks of it. You've got all the little swirls and seating and little air bubbles.
Yeah.
And it's just such a nice feature to have been able to preserve with the house.
Yeah. So I can't wait to show you upstairs.
We're going to take a walk up to the second level. And if you like the first floor, the second level is just amazing.
So as you can see, it's an upside down house. Living room downstairs and the kitchen is upstairs.
Right. So welcome to the kitchen in the Black Walnut House. There's a lot of favorite rooms that Jen and I have in this house, but this one just takes the cake. As far as the ability to entertain in here, the expanse, the look, and kind of the reveal of all the details of the house, and then all the details that we were able to put in the kitchen here just to help highlight the building and do some nods to the black walnut tree out front, right?
Yeah, the black walnut is my favorite in this space, along with the vaulting. We vaulted the ceilings. Yep. You'll see some of the before pictures. This was a very low ceiling. There were faux beams, if you can imagine. And now we have exposed the real beams and finished the whole upstairs, which was unfinished before.
Right.
We added a whole bank of windows here to brighten it up.
And really kind of bring the outside in, right?
Yeah, that was what this was all about. And then bringing the outside in, our neighbor actually had these slabs of black walnut.
Yeah, he harvested. He was fortunate enough. Somebody was taking down a black walnut tree in either Bridgewater or East Bridgewater, and he said it was about 250 years old. So they called him, and he was able to cut it into these 2-inch thick slabs.
Yeah.
And then what's really neat, and when you're up in the loft, you can see it full on, is the tree has the bell.
Right.
Right. So this is the base of the tree that he was able to kind of do like a bowl cut with his chainsaw and preserve it. And so we have this nice fan that we tied together with this purse wood bow tie here, so this crack won't expand anymore.
Right.
And it's just one of those features that we're able to put together to kind of give a nod to the integrity of the house and the tree.
Right, and we have all these post and beam legs to it, fits the post and beam house.
Yep. So there's plenty of seating, plus you get this one little extra that you can sit on right here.
Yeah,
right?
Michael loves that.
I do.
He found that, and it's awesome. Fun. And then we have a sink that we were saving for a project and incorporated into this space.
Jen and I learned later on from one of the daughters of the family that was here before that the mother would have loved to, had she had the time and energy and the dollars to try to do what we were able to accomplish here.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a real nice nod to hear that we kind of took her dream and brought it all the way forward. Yeah. When we took this on, we were going to do this house in 4 different stages. And as we started peeling back the layers of the onion, we ended up doing it all at once. And let me tell you, there were some tight times when we tried to do that.
Yeah. Well, we were working on other projects. This was a side project. We knew we wanted to keep this house. And so, it took a little bit longer, but we got it done. We did try to, really highlight and save all the cool features about this house. Like I said, the windows, and also Gary Murdoch did build all that custom cabinetry in the corner there. And so we saved that. Mm-hmm. We pulled up all the linoleum and found the nice pine floors underneath.
We were able to keep these, believe it or not. There was 2 or 3 layers of linoleum.
Yeah.
And these beautiful pine floors that were still underneath. And luckily we have a really good flooring guy that works with us. And he said, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm really going to try. And it was a lot of sandpaper and a lot of time. And we brought them back.
This is actually the first floor that he worked on for
That's right.
So after that, we just kept using him, because before that, we were using our own sanders and doing it ourselves.
And that was painful. Let me tell you, you got to do it at least once or twice, but it was painful.
Feel the pain.
Speaking of first, there's another first that I want to kind of highlight over here. If you've been following the work that we do, you'll notice these custom barnwood hood vents. Now, if Jen remembers, this was the first one that she came up with the idea of, that said, I think I know what I want to do with the hood vent. Let's take some of the material we salvaged and see if we can put one together.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but I think Rich Soares did a beautiful job on this. And I think we've built, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so since then.
Dozens of them, I would say. Yeah.
But I do believe that this is sheathing or maybe flooring that came out of this house. Mm-hmm. And it might have been wood that was milled right across the street here at the mill. So it's such a cool story to tell, along with the black walnut countertops.
Well, we have then the small live edge shelves that are also remnants of the black walnut that we cut for the countertop.
Right.
And it's like it's actually coming out of the wall attached to the posts here. And it just gives that, bringing the outside in, keeping it kind of natural, that wood feel to it. And it just gives such a nice touch to the house.
The other feature that we tried on this house that we had never done before was American clay on the walls.
Oh, so let's go take a look.
First floor, this is really the second floor, has American clay. So this is from New Mexico, and it's sand. It feels so soft to even touch it, but you can get this pre-colored American clay. Check them out. I highly recommend this, but hire a professional to install it, because I tried to several times.
This is a really, really funny story. Again, this house is so many firsts. Jen and I saw this, I think, at a friend's house, and she loved it and said, I'm going to put this on the wall, and I got to give her all the credit in the world, because she mixed it up, and she was here putting the plaster on, and she was struggling for a couple of weeks, I think, trying to get it right.
In between other projects
right,
and
exactly.
my day job at the time.
That's correct.
So,
Still working full time. And she ended up doing some research, and she found the plasterer that we still use to this day, Kieran and his team.
Oh,
and,
that's right.
And it was worth every penny hiring him. Jen said, I love doing it, but never again. He's the professional.
Oh, yeah.
Another nice feature here as we kind of walk through the kitchen, again, like we showed you guys downstairs, we have another fireplace with another beehive oven right on this side. And it's uncommon in a house of this era to have multiple beehive ovens. That's kind of why Jen and I were thinking that they may have been making a lot of bread, and this could have been a place to create food for the whole entire family, or for some of the workers that were either in the mill or working on the farm.
You know, even like little elements that you wouldn't even be able to tell were not here before, but this structurally needed to be here. So we had used the same beams to add this to make it look, well, to make it structurally sound, but also make it look like it's always been here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. There's so many little elements in this house as you pay attention and start to walk through.
Yeah.
We have a little table out of a pulley mold that I made when Jen and I were kind of doing the festival circuits years ago. You know, what we've always tried to do is take a lot of the elements that we found or collect and decorate any of the houses that we do with them.
Yeah. And we used to have my grandmother's light hanging over this table. I happen to love sandwich lantern, and so this gas light got moved here. I ended up moving my Nana's light to our own kitchen table.
Which is where it should be.
So I can enjoy it a little bit more, but anyone that rents this can enjoy this space. Morning coffee, all your mugs and your plates and everything are in this cabinet here. I love that storage.
Gary Murdoch's built-in that Jen was referring to. And we kept it here, and it holds all the plateware and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a beautiful piece. Want to go take a look at the upstairs living room?
Yeah, so let's talk about the sitting room.
So here we have the sitting room in the front of the house. Now, we were downstairs as we were talking about the banked barn. This is a sitting room directly upstairs. Right. So after you've had a meal and you've been in the kitchen and you guys are relaxing, this is just a beautiful room to come sit in. Yeah,
and all the furnishings in here are Angel House. She's out in Western Mass. Roz makes all of these and her crew. Beautiful work they do, very traditional furniture, and it's comfortable to sit in too.
Yeah.
And then we also have another pulley that Michael and I found at some antique fair somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Brimfield.
I think it was. This was an end of the day purchase, but again, it's just a nice nod to the industrial era that surrounded this property. And these pulleys are just super, super flexible. You can use them as a table, you can use them as seats.
This room didn't really change much, but there is American clay on the walls. The plaster was a little dated. It wasn't original. It was more like 1970s. Right. So that's why it's American clay. We redid the ceilings. Yep. We've got a fireplace in here as well, but it's all original flooring, and we did not refinish any of these floors at all.
We left them exactly the way they are.
They're exactly the way they are. You can feel the grooves in the floor where, you know, I mean, who knows who's walking through here in the 1800s. But also Mrs. Murdoch, unfortunately, had MS. And so you'll notice wider doorways.
Yep.
Those were here. I even would say there's a bathroom off this room. So that really hasn't been touched too much except for the sink.
Yeah.
We will talk about that. In this room, if you can imagine Mrs. Murdoch in a wheelchair, she'd wheel herself into here. So this is ADA compliant. And I happen to love the 1970s blue tile, so I left it.
I know.
I left it. I left the soap dish. I mean, the plumbing works great. We updated the hand shower in here, but I love it.
And we just thought it was really functional, especially if anybody was staying here and needed an accessible shower. I mean, it's just a beautiful element of the house that we wanted to preserve.
Yeah.
You know, Jen and I have always tried to be really creative with salvaging pieces and kind of putting found pieces together. And there's multiple opportunities to see that in this house.
Right.
And one is this vanity right here. And now the funniest thing about this vanity for me personally was Jen at the time had a broken leg and wasn't out and around too much. She was trying to just rest up a little bit, and we were trying to finish the project. And I was sending her pictures of stuff to try to piece these together.
Right.
And I found this little table and this copper candy bowl. And this is actually for, you know, cooking candy, like caramels and everything like that. And I'm taking pictures and I'm saying to Jen, how about this? How about this? You want me to put these together? And she's like, great, perfect. Bring it back and we'll put it together. And we had our plumber put the plumbing right through here.
Yeah.
And then this mirror is really kind of special too, Jen, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that's the top of a vanity. I thought it would look cool in the space with the lighting. It looks a little bit like a mustache. But I love it. It just flows right with the rest of the house. So we have 2 full bathrooms on this floor.
Yeah.
And lots more bedroom spaces as well. So
why don't we go take a look at the neighboring bedroom?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so again, we've got American clay on the walls in here.
And this is, again, almost another first. We had done this once before in a renovation that Jen and I did next to her original house in Kingston. But then we were trying to figure out how to close off the space. And we did this beautiful sliding door out of reclaimed wood.
And again, original floors, original layout of the room. It was just really cosmetics in here, and then just getting the heating working. They're all the old cast iron radiators, but they work really, really well and really efficient.
Yep.
And so then we go into the other bedrooms and bathroom.
And this is just another great example of how we are able to take found pieces and combine them into some of the hallmarks that you see in a lot of the designs we do today. And I think I was on Facebook searching around, and I happened to find a guy that had some old pig troughs down in Rochester from a big farm.
That's right.
And I was like, geez, I wonder what we could do with these. They're super cool. And then I think Jen found this chest of drawers right here.
Yeah.
And we talked to our plumber and said, I think we want you to make this into a sink. And it became one of the hallmarks, I think, of our style that we've done countless numbers of times now, right?
Right. Imagine washing your hands in a pig trough. But it works. It works.
Does.
And I love the way this whole bathroom is. We really didn't change much otherwise.
Not
It's
a
all
ton.
just laid out the same exact way. We just refreshed the tile. There was pink floral wallpaper in here. So we did take the wallpaper down and just lightened up the walls, and we figured this is the highlight to the room, so why not just focus on that?
I personally just absolutely love the mirror that you found for the space here, Jenna, and I love just the kind of scraped off paint.
Right.
It just, again, gives another texture. And then there's a little funny note in this room that we left behind the toilet here.
Oh, right. Well, this is the wallpaper.
That's the wallpaper.
And the vent. This is the original kitchen vent, bathroom vent.
That's right.
Occasionally birds nest on the other side of it, so maybe don't turn it on, but...
well, I think we disconnected it so that we can.
To save the baby birds. But then also there is a really cool door here. So I don't know what this room was before. Obviously it wasn't a bathroom in 1800. But we discovered this behind the wall, and Michael was like, oh my God, when he found it, and was trying to figure out where the door went to. And I was like, it just goes to
the kitchen. And I went, never mind.
So we kept the toilet there, exposed the door. It's just a cool piece, original to the house.
It is. It's pretty amazing. I love it. So as we continue down the hall, we've got a secondary bedroom over here. Again, beautiful views of the backyard and all the natural light.
Yes.
And again, we kept all the original flooring.
Right.
And Jen just kind of decorated this or pointed this room just with a nice homey feel, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Right? Yeah. and it's, you know, again, the New Mexico clay plaster all around the walls. It just gives you this nice warm feeling.
Yeah. It's really cosmetic changes in here and just small ones. Yeah. The windows were the biggest item here, and the, you know, getting the heat working again. But other than that, you know, it's just cosmetic, which we'll go into the next room and see the main bedroom over here, which has also cosmetic just refreshes to it. And so in here, we left the painted floors. We didn't touch them at all. American clay on the walls, and a nice king size bed in here. Lots of windows. You can look at the black walnut tree in the front yard. It's just a lovely, peaceful room. I love staying in this room.
It's a great example of what we were able to achieve with, like Jen said, some more just textural changes, paint, wall colorings with the plaster itself. Yeah. Because when we were trying to do this house, like anybody else, we were on a budget. And there was a lot that we could save here, but there was a lot that we could change just with how we decorated and what we were able to preserve.
Right. It's just the small changes that make a big difference. In this room, I just wanted to highlight, there's actually some family photos of my family in here. My grandmother, the Haywards, was my grandmother's side. And so this is all, you know, that would have been like her... She was a Hayward, a Byram, and it would have been her direct descendants as well. So I thought it would be cool to incorporate some of that into the space. I love this room. It's a really special spot.
Well, speaking of special spots, I want to go show my favorite room on the first floor.
Okay.
Aside from the kitchen.
Oh, there you go. My favorite door, the Dutch door.
Dutch door is amazing. So we kept the original hardware, and this door can just open in two sections like a Dutch door should.
Yeah.
But if we come out here, this is what we call the studio room, because this was Gary Murdoch's studio.
That's right. Yeah, no, he taught art classes in here and did a lot of his painting in here. And this was a 4-season room. But the most special piece is, I think, the table.
So again, these are sections of the black walnut tree that we have used all throughout the property here.
Yeah.
And it's really a table that bookends, right? So it's carved so that both sections can back into each other, or you can split them apart and move them. Yeah. And one of the things that I really love is, again, the way it's bisected. You have the remnant of one of the tree branches that would have been here, and you can kind of, you know, get in a chair and sit right in the crook of the branch, just like this. It's just kind of fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, in this space, we didn't really change much, which is amazing to me. It looks like a whole different room just with this table. The table is actually built into the room. We cannot remove it. Unless we took the legs off, I guess.
Right, exactly.
But we lightly sanded the Pickwick pine that was in here, and, you know, refinished the floors, fixed the windows, but really not much else has changed. It's just the furnishings. And then we did add this bar.
The sideboard,
which is the
right here.
Middle of the night kind of thought.
This was a late project.
Right.
I was balancing this on my head to try to get this level, and Jen and I were trying to screw these ship's knees right here into the wall, so it's really a floating buffet.
Yeah, and it works out great. We've had plenty of weddings in here, weddings inside this room or weddings out in the backyard, and then they come in here for food. Yeah. It's just a great spot to set up, but that was going to be the island top until we changed our minds.
That's right.
And so we had these spare pieces in here, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Perfect bar space.
Well, and another perfect first for this.
Right.
This was the first instance where we used ship's knees. We saw these beautiful carved crooked pieces that support this, and discovered that they were ship's knees, really went down the rabbit hole of what ship's knees are, and thought, geez, since we preserved this piece here, why don't we use that like a typical floating shelf and hang them?
Yeah,
and it came out great.
I love it. It just fits with the rest of the house and all the salvage pieces that are in this house.
Yeah.
And we, incorporated things like the maps, the old maps of Plympton and what was here before.
She kind of made this nice little display for them so that they'll actually hang and you can see the different family names and you can see who would have lived on any of the streets. It's pretty unique. But again, this room is real spacious. I mean, Jen and I have hosted, parties. We've done music events here. And as you walk around through the room, again, you can see all the natural light and how it just brings the outside in.
Right. We didn't want to cover any of that up. Just highlight the beautiful yard and all the original rock walls out here. And there's so many lovely gardens that are blooming right now. I just love this space.
Yeah.
And it's heated in the winter too. So it's lovely in the winter when it's snowing. There's been winter weddings in here. I think it's even lovelier in the winter time, actually.
I think so too.
But yeah, we have a lot of interesting pieces like the old corbel that would have been hung off the side of a building here. Just an interesting piece to add to the space, and lots of antique furniture. So it really does help when you dress up a space. It really changes the aesthetic of the space. Or added lighting. We added the lights in here.
Yeah.
So this is the dining room.
It gives a nod to the past, the present, and the future all at the same time.
I think we have the loft left to show you.
Let's go take a walk.
Let's go to the third floor. This space up here has changed the most, but the stairs are original.
Yep.
And if you can believe it, when it was unfinished, the Murdochs did a lot of fostering and a lot of the kids slept upstairs. It must have been so hot in the summer. I don't know how they did it.
Really hot.
Yeah.
But these stairs are really unique because you can just imagine all the different feet that have traveled up and down, and you can see all the marks on them. Again, the railing is another black walnut sapling, and we really wanted to leave this space as intact as we could.
Right.
But we did a lot of work to restructure it, namely taking up a lot of the flooring here, resawing it, putting 3/4 subfloor down, and putting the flooring back down so it looks original, but now it's solid.
Right. Yeah. No, the guys did an amazing job on that. And then just opening up the space, vaulting it, finishing the ceilings, but exposing the beams, and then exposing it down to the kitchen with this rebar railing, which the crew did not like me for because it's really hard to cut these. So
it was extremely heavy. My truck hated me, but I think it was a brilliant idea, and it just, again, fits with kind of the natural mediums, the wood, the metal.
Right.
And it gives you that ability just to look over and see that island and the nice bell on the tree. Again, see all the framing, but also be safe, right? It's all code compliant, but it's done in a really unique way.
Yeah, and we were going to do this in like phase 4. There actually is one phase left. I will say.
Yep.
But this was going to be phase 4 and it ended up being phase 1.
Yep.
Renovation just finished it.
Yep.
But we did on the other side of this door, stub up plumbing and things like that so that maybe we could finish that space eventually too.
Yep.
But in this space, we finished this off and added Michael's custom signature lighting in here as well.
It was funny because Jen used to tease me about anything we would get, I'd try to make a light out of it. So I had all these metal components and I just put them together and made these kind of unique hanging chandeliers that, again, pick up the wood and the metal feeling without being too heavy, right?
I love them in the space. I think they're very appropriate here with the brick and the wood elements. I love them.
Yeah.
And so you've got 2 beds up here. So there's 2 twin beds. There's another whole sitting area up here and lots more original windows in this space as well.
Yeah. Again, we like to take a lot of the different pieces that we've made over time or things that we've collected and kind of display them throughout the house and give you that nice warm feel with also, in this case, a little bit of that industrial touch for all the work that was probably going around on a property like this.
Right. It's the nod to the tack mill, the cannon foundry.
Yep, that's right.
All of that. There's lots of, nods to the farm, it being a farm and farmhouse. It's definitely got that farmhouse aesthetic to it. But it's also timeless. I mean, I feel like a lot of our style has stuck. I mean, before this house, we did some of this, but then after this house, we really did lean into this more, and we do a lot of restorations that incorporated similar pieces still to this day, almost a decade later.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite house. It is for rent. It sleeps 9 people. You can have your wedding here if you want. People rent it for whole weeks in the summer and go down to Plymouth Plantation. It's very centrally located, but yet very quiet too.
Yeah, we call Plympton kind of the Vermont of the South Shore of Massachusetts. You can sit out in the backyard and see the fireflies, or you can drive 10 minutes and be down to the ocean. Well, thank you everybody for joining us on the tour of our historic Black Walnut House. This property means a ton to Jen and I, and we're just really happy to get the opportunity to share it with you.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Yeah, good luck opening it.
Oh.
All right. Oh God, that door.
And set your notifications so that you'll see whenever we have a brand new video posted.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Like, we'll do that again. That was awesome.
It's like, I know I'm supposed to say something, but I forgot.
And Jen slowly floats away.